Montreal Canadiens lose 4-1 against the LA Kings. Mike Matheson is injured, so is Caden Guhle. Lane Hudson has a lot of ice time last night to fill the void, and Logan Mailloux is called up by the Canadiens to join the team as another defensive man on the roster. Hi, I'm Conor Tomalty. Welcome to Game On Montreal. We've got a lot to explore today, but first we're going to get into the ad of today's video, and that is, once again, Hyperdrive Hockey. Hyperdrive Hockey is a show hosted by Daphne Malbeuf and Maxime Van Hoot, two incredible hockey minds who have been working in the French industry for a long time, but now have transitioned to the Game Over network here for their show. They explore everything in the world of hockey, not just the NHL, but also European hockey and the PWHL. These are two incredibly insightful minds, and you can find their podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, so that's YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Just make sure that you tune in and give them a listen because, again, their abilities and their knowledge of hockey are incredibly vast, and you should be listening to them almost daily like I am. So let's start with the big thing, and that was last night. The Habs lost 4-1 against the LA Kings in what Nick Suzuki called an immature effort. He's not really wrong. There were a lot of factors in this game that should have gone the Canadiens, that prove this should have gone the Canadiens' way. That being the Kings being on a back-to-back night, going from Toronto and losing there to have to now come to Montreal and battle, and getting in late and trying to battle against the Canadiens. The Canadiens had 2 days of rest and enough time to lick their wounds and to move on, but fell in a 4-1 effort. And a lot of that has to go towards the defense. There was a stat that was put up last night by TSN, and that's because the Habs rank last in these 4 categories, and that's shot attempts against, shots on goals against, expected goals against, and high danger chances against. I promise you I can pronounce words. And on top of all that, now we're finding out that Caden Guhle is day-to-day with an upper body injury, and Mike Matheson, who left last night during the first period, also has an upper body injury, but he's being evaluated. We'll start with talking about Lane Hudson very quickly because I want to get into him before I talk about Mailloux. Lane Hudson last night played over 30 minutes of hockey, he was on the ice for over 30 minutes. And that was because when Matheson went down, they needed somebody to fill the void and get a lot of those minutes. Now, what was impressive, not just because he was playing 30 plus minutes, he also had the puck on his stick for 4 plus minutes in that game. And there's only 4 players last year, I believe, who had more time than he produced last night, and that's Erik Karlsson, Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar, and Matthew Barzal. These are 4 really good names when it comes to defense, and Lane Hudson is in some impressive company. His stock has risen in the Calder Trophy odds, but I think a lot that doesn't just have to do with his performance. It also has to do with Macklin Celebrini being injured. So there are things going in Lane Hudson's favor, but there is something that is a concern. And this was pointed out last night by Andrew Berkshire and Marc Dumont. And that's the fact that he's coming from the NCAA and playing in the NHL. In the NCAA, you practice a lot, but you play roughly 40 games in a season. The NHL is 82 games, practice, plus travel time. So if he's playing over 30 minutes a game as a rookie, that might create some wear and tear, and it's a lot on him. As well as the Canadiens don't really have another veteran presence outside of David Savard and Mike Matheson. If Matheson is getting a treatment day today, hopefully he's okay and he's back in the lineup for next game. But if he's dealing with an injury, David Savard, who, congratulations to him, played his 800th game, that doesn't leave a lot of veteran presence in a team that needs veteran presence, especially on its defensive core. As a result of the injuries, the team has called up Logan Mailloux from Laval. Mailloux has already 2 goals and 2 assists in 2 games, so he's averaging 2 points a game in the AHL. Mailloux is a solid defenseman, and he's really good offensively. He's known to be a point producer, plays the puck really well, is good at getting his teammates involved. But defensively, as it was pointed out last night by, again, Andrew and Marc, he's not the solution on defense. But if you have these defensive players who are, for lack of a better term, dropping like flies, it is a good idea to bring him on. Jaden Struble has also been waiting with the team for a shot to get a chance to play, and I anticipate him playing in the next matchup as well. Of course, there's a lot more to explore when it comes to that. Is Jaden Struble the answer? Is Logan Mailloux the answer? All this to say is probably not. The team just needs to play better defensively. I know Tony Marinaro was pointing some fingers at Martin St. Louis on his podcast and saying something along the lines of, he doesn't change the lineups, and you expected Lane Hudson to play over 30 minutes with a couple other guys playing under 19 minutes in that game. So when you lost Matheson, you were down to 5 defensemen, but as a result, you made it so that Lane Hudson was forced to pick up a lot of the slack. And I'm not saying Lane Hudson did poorly. I don't think Marinaro was saying that either. You just sort of worry about how much ice time a rookie is going to be getting, and how much like responsibility he has as well. And again, you with injuries like this, you want all avoidance of that when it comes to especially a star player or a player of the caliber that Lane Hudson. Hi all, this is a separate recording because we had the previous recording going, but we just got news that Uri Slafkovsky has left practice early with an apparent elbow injury that he's been favoring. He did not return. We've also learned that Caden Guhle will not travel with the team to New York to take on the Islanders on Saturday, but Mike Matheson will. Uri Slafkovsky's condition is not known, and we do not know if he's going to travel or not with the team. So with all that in mind, please let us know what you think in the comment section. There's a lot of news and a lot of injuries happening already with the Canadiens, not just what we saw in the preseason. So there's a lot to talk about, but let us know what you think by commenting on this video. Also, like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and add the Game Over Network to your homepage for all the Montreal content that you can handle. Once again, I'm Conor Tomalty with Game On Montreal saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.